Yeah. Oh, that was a huge era, dog.
You know, like I had to.
Yo, can we bring back the Heelys, dog, for the kids?
Heelys, come on, man. You know, sometimes like also like going outside of the country and coming back. It gives you a bit of like perspective because it's like, dog, us we are looking too far, bro. You know, and I feel like there's a lot of things, even us, we still suffer from like we can't see. You know? Like a t-shirt has been a t-shirt since
a cap is a cap.
A cap is a cap. So it's, you know, it's always gonna be a canvas. It's just how the story or everything is translated through it. You know. You're already selling something, nah, that
people know it.
That people already have an appetite for. There's someone right now, maybe today on your phone, your WhatsApp, or you can bump into or whatever. If you can convince them good enough. You can convince them to give you their rent. Like, let's say now you're patala rent.
Facts.
They might end up buying enough to allow yourself to be like, okay, cool. And like you're always a student of the game, you know, you know, like it's a, like you're always gonna like. It's a fucking spy today. It was a whole. Like, I understand. It's like it's a give and take, trial versus error. You know, so that's for me. Like I think like that lesson is always. Like it's one lesson that always appears every season. I think a lot of the things we do is try to like understand what people want and like create like an experience of it. You know, like around like the idea or whatever. Through the canvas maybe of like clothing or accessories or I think that's what, because also like streetwear, bro, I don't know if you know it, but like it's an open secret. Like I don't think streetwear designers know how to design.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
Welcome to another very, very, very special episode of Dead Radio with your boy Ini. And today, it's Cloth Talk. We have a very special guest in the building. We're going to let him introduce himself. And then we'll get into his life story, and you know how we do, get those jewels for you guys. So, yeah.
Shout out for having me through, man. My name is Lindelani Nediboni. But the streets know me as Mahoota or S.W.A.N.K. Those are just some of the AKAs.
Okay. Thanks for joining us today.
Easy.
It's a big blessing. How are you doing today?
Nah, man, I'm chilled.
You good?
Thankful,
Yeah. Let's start your story from the beginning. Where are you from?
So I'm from Ilokuzan, Diepkloof.
Diepkloof, okay. South side.
Yeah. South side, Diepkloof, in Soweto, in Zone 5. So yeah, man, that's like born and bred.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what type of kid were you? So
as a kid, man, I would say I was like super, you know, as a kid, like from the hood, you're always like out there, Mostrating, and I was like, at home, man, they'd be like, yo, this guy has like so much energy.
You
know? I think from like a young age, like growing up in the hood, I was that kind of kid that was into like a lot of things that are very active, like super active based, you know.
So like sports,
super like sports and like and as you're growing as a kid, you get to like also get exposed to like other kinds of what would I call them? I wouldn't say it's like sports. It is sports, but it's like active sports, you know, like
I feel you.
Like you're skating,
okay,
and all those joints, you know.
Urban sports.
Like urban sports, you know?
I feel you. I feel you.
And then definitely, but I was quite good at sports also, you know, and I played a lot of it.
Okay.
At one point when I was a kid, I don't know, man. I think I had like an obsession with golf.
Oh,
but I, like, you know.
Dope. Where did that come from?
Like I just
in the hood.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things where like on media you just see like the big guys playing golf, like,
Yeah.
and like that vibe, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
so I just had like an obsession with that, like with it, just like looking at it from afar, not necessarily like participating, you know.
Okay.
I was quite like an athlete as so far as like, you know, like those inter-school
like,
competitions,
I get you. You're those guys.
Yeah, so like that's even how I got like the nickname. So even the nickname Mahoota, like I got it like from.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from, you know. Yeah. So it's like,
okay.
I was actually like into, you know, like those 100-meter like dash races.
Crazy.
I was actually into.
Okay.
I like cricket, like tennis, but those were not like as big in the hood.
Yeah.
You know, and like infrastructure wise also.
Yeah.
I did play a lot of like football as well.
Dope.
So I think like I just got that. But like just playing sports in general, I think that, and I just like, before even getting into like heavy sports, I think that's more like transitioning into like teenage years.
Okay.
But it was more of like skating.
Okay.
When I was much younger, you know.
Okay.
Skating, cycling.
Dope.
You know, like cycling, skating.
Dope.
Everyone, I'm sure remembers the Heelys.
Yeah. Oh, that was a huge era, dog.
You know, like I had to.
Yo, can we bring back the Heelys, dog, for the kids?
Heelys, come on, man, come on. You know, I got the Heelys, and obviously, like, I don't think like they were original or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just like an idea. Probably like go get a pair from China Mall.
Yeah.
Like you'd tell your moms, "What's I need a pair."
I need those.
You know? I remember the ones got banned like in malls and schools.
Yeah, it was like a huge thing.
It was a problem.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
Whoa. Damn. I know you want this bag. Let's just be honest. Well, here's your chance to win it. Step 1. Join and become a member by clicking the link in the description below. Step 2, comment under this video. Step 3, relax. Jais. Here's what we're gonna do. All the members are gonna be entered into a raffle. Each of those members will be assigned a number. And to make sure that nothing is biased, we will use Google number generator to pick a winner.
And you're live on Dead Radio.
I won't lie, I think S.W.A.N.K, you guys need to bring Heelys back.
Yo, man, funny enough, I had like the same thought.
Yeah.
And then when I was searching it up, I was like, okay, it's actually like a brand from like the US and whatever. You know?
Okay.
Because I thought, because you remember that era where you had like, when you come back from Scala, before you hit the road, there was like that SAPC moment where like they had like television made and created just for like kids.
Yes.
Or like youngers, you know?
Yes, for the youngers.
So like your SABC ones had the, I think I don't know if it's still happening.
It probably still is.
The
right
UTVs.
Yeah, the UTV.
And then the SABC 2s had like the tubes and whatever.
Yeah,
so a lot of those Heelys like inserts, you see it like in the adverts.
Yeah, in the ads.
You know, maybe when you're watching your DBZs and whatever. You know.
Yes,
yeah, but even as a young homie, man, like just into like that like alternative. It wasn't as big from where I was. Also, I was like, yo, this is interesting, but I was quite open. I'm just like, and I was fortunate enough to have siblings that were like, yo, try it out, you know. So they were like a bit older than me. So it was kind of like for like parents and like the elderly. It was like, yo, man, which one is this one?
Yeah,
you know?
it's weird.
But like the people who would like vouch for you are like your older siblings, like, yo, man, nah, actually try it out.
Okay. So they're the ones that kind of unlocked your mind and opened it. Because being in the hood, like, I won't, what can I say? A lot of people's minds are like closed to like things that don't exist in this environment. So you think your older siblings are the ones that made you feel, okay, I can actually go skate. I can actually like golf. I can actually like these other things.
Yeah, to be honest, bro, like, cause they were they played a really, and I think it was like something that was very like indirect. They played a super big role. like my elder cousins, my bigger sister, you know, just like the vibe. Like when they come back from school, they're like a free for all like newspaper, you know, like, and then when you are checking it out, you're like, yo, damn, like,
I didn't
like,
know.
yo, like this is like, it just like looked fly. It didn't just look like a regular newspaper, you know.
Okay.
Collecting hype magazines, going crazy over, let's say, getting new pairs of like Air Force Ones.
I get you.
Like the high tops.
I get you.
You know?
I get you.
Collecting CDs.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like the college dropouts.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Did you get the original college dropout?
If I'm not mistaken, I think my sister got
the
that
late registration.
Either one of those. One of those,
okay,
you know.
Dope.
So it was like, yo, man, that's like a really. So it was something that was not. You know, that was not like common or you know, but they got the CDs.
I get you.
They bought like the first, like let's say PC.
I get you.
So it's like, so when you look at the PC, you're like, yo, man.
Your mind is now open.
So like, yeah, they're getting like small cameras. They're taking pictures with like their homies wherever they go, wherever they chill. That's mini videos, you know.
Fire.
So the idea of like, oh shit. So this can be like transferred from the small camera
to the
into
computer.
the computer, like images, videos. You know, it's like it's that kind of like exciting. It was like an alternative from the perspective.
Yeah, of like what's happening.
I had like directly, you know.
Yeah.
So I never felt as if. Like and even if like we didn't know what it was. At the time, like in terms of like words or whatever, it was very like, it felt like free, like you felt very free, like we felt like we're exploring as much as possible, you know. So that was the vibe, just like growing up. Man.
And then in high school, right?
Yeah.
How do you get more into like sports and stuff? Like, do you further lean into that, or now that your older siblings are taking pictures, there's a computer, is the creative thing now starting in your mind?
So the creative thing, funny enough, it's like, you know how, let's say you're in school, and like there's a typical, you remember that S, that S that everyone like literally used to draw on,
yes.
Either like the school table,
I remember that S,
like the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you join it, you know. So it's like it was one of those things. Like I don't know if every kid in like every school in South Africa had that moment, but I was like, okay, cool. If I could do this at school, or it's kind of like mini vandalism, if I would call it. Like you do it at the toilet,
on the desk,
you do it on the desk.
Kids in detention always do.
Yeah, and like you know, like when they say every term you go back to school, the tables have been
like
they've been like refurbished and they look more fine, and they have like a new layer of like vanish, and then the homies are back at it, like
making the S again.
You know, like and then like using T-packs. You remember like the T-pack joints onto the lines, you know?
T-packs.
So it was like, it was like that thing. When I saw that, it was like, yo, this is fly. And there was a lot of other like mini signs, bro. Like, you know, like the Kumbi, like study transport. Like they used to always have like these stickers at the back of the transports. You try to always like recreate them, draw them. So I was like into that thing, like, yo, let me try to draw these things and like create them. Like every time I had like a mini sketch pad or whatever.
Interesting.
And it's like from that, and then it actually became a thing of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna watch cartoons. Let's try draw this kind of like cartoon.
Let's draw Goku. Let's draw Vegeta.
You know, that kind of thing. You know, so it was a thing. From that point, you then see a computer, and then there's like there's the Paint app.
Oh,
like
yes. The
OG Paint. So you want to do it with like the mouse, and it would look like super crooked. But like when I look at it like in retrospect right now, it's like, yo, actually what we do like right now is actually what we've been doing like as
ever
kids.
since.
You know, but like as a kid, you never knew what it was.
Yeah.
It's just like we're doing it because it was fun, it was exciting, it was cool.
Damn.
You wanted to kind of like do it as flyers, you know.
Just express.
Yeah, and I think in that age, to be honest, bro, at Diepkloof, we kind of like had like a really dope. I wouldn't call it like for better. Like I think there's a better term to call it, but in terms of like culture and like hip hop culture, there was some sort of like renaissance. Like I know renaissance is like a super big word, but I don't know like what word I'd use right now. You know, like bo Space Jam, bo Black Sunday, bo Slag Race, you know. So it's like you kind of like
those were all happening in your hood.
Like, you know, those are all happening in like OTK, you understand? So you knew that Friday on Sundays, like cats are like
they're pulling out.
Cats went to church, but as soon as they back to church, like they changing the
Now
whole
the
attire,
culture.
they're going to, you know. So it's like it kind of like had that kind of like energy, and you're then exposed because your siblings and your cousins.
So you were born in the best place, right? I mean, for who you became today.
I won't lie. I think I was privileged to be at the epicenter and like to observe it, because right now, like when I go check out all those spots, like it was like the parks. There was a park near Itabisile. There was a park in Zone 1. There was a spot in Zone, I think Zone 4 near the new shopping, you know, complex situation. It's like there's a lot of things have changed. Like obviously,
but the history
development and whatever. Yeah, you know. Yeah, and like that's why you saw there's a lot of cats who are actually like, oh, these cats do graffiti. Because at the same time, it wasn't just like about like the music. It was like, yo,
the entire lifestyle.
Yeah, there's guys who are doing like like beatboxing was quite crazy, bro. I don't know like if cats know like how beatboxing like like beatbox. You see how like producers right now are like the ish.
The guys,
like
the
beatboxers were
the
like
guys.
the guys.
Yeah,
you know the boom boom ch. Like every kid like used to know like the Ikamala Muskroof, Diepkloof, you understand? So it's like that kind of like exposure, and like I think it kind of like gave me or heightened the appetite of like trying to explore more than anything, because I think it was like a lot of people were like exposed and other people coming from different hoods, you know, because it started becoming a melting pot. But I think that vibe was like a okay, cool, you know. You saw like you used to see Upro, like as a kid. You used to see Abozola, like as a kid,
right
like
there in your face.
Like, and you're like, yo, man, these cats are like, yo, like
they're
we out
real.
here, you know.
They're real.
And we were still like quite like youngins, like so sometimes you kind of like sneak in a corner with the homies, or like check it out from afar, or like if let's say everyone is super excited, but it was like that kind of like there was like a heightened energy. I don't know if you remember how Back to the City was also like.
Yes.
When it was still under the bridge.
Yes, under the bridge there.
You know?
So that was...
So, but we had like the similar energy, like in, you know, like a lot of guys, man, a lot of guys contributed to that thing, man.
I feel you.
A lot of players, a lot of, like everyone who was like a pioneer. But that was the idea for me, like understanding the idea of like, and that's what I'm saying, like we didn't even understand
what's going on.
What's going on, the name, culture.
You're just, bro.
It was like an alternative, and it was like the energy was very different, and like we all gravitated towards it. You know, so I think that was
So all of these things are happening, you're being like super inspired, your hunger for like, let me say creating is growing, obviously. So how are you balancing, in high school, what are you thinking of all this? Are you thinking, damn, maybe I can create a career somewhere through one of these channels? Or are you thinking, this is really dope, this is something that I could indulge in on my off time, but I'm gonna go the traditional work way, like, cause being a creative is non-traditional, right? Especially like in black neighborhoods, especially in like a country like South Africa. How are you perceiving all of this? Are you thinking, maybe I can make a career out of this? Or are you still like, nah, this is just something fun to do on the side?
Cool. So to respond to the previous question about like how, like this question and the previous one, I think it was one of those things where also like with sports, it was like more of like a teenage thing because a lot of the things that died down, you know, when we were like now having to like start to choose career paths as to, you know. So for me, like sports, which like goes back to the previous question and the current question that you're asking, is that the similarities is that beyond just being like a team player or the superstar or whatever, I think I really liked the idea of like unity, you know, like for that came in sports. Like I really enjoyed sports also that were very teamwork based, you know.
You're a team player.
For me, I thought like that was like a really, because it also like you also learned a lot of things, and you also like there's a lot of like lessons, you know, like I don't know, man. There's a lot of like untold, or you don't know, you don't know what it is, but it's like when you play like team sports, like a lot of the times, it's like there's a lot of lessons you.
Life lessons.
Like super, like, you know, like even like losing a match. Like when you lose a match, like it's crazy how you guys, like by default, you can't take it like personal.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, it's like it's the same as like the energy of like culture, or like within culture, like skating. You know, like skating when you trip whilst you're skating or whatever. You know, like have you seen how, like even when I was supposed to skating, I was like, yo, this is so dope. Like it doesn't look like you're a bum or a loser. Like you just trip and then it's like, like let's try it again, you know. And
the boys will actually encourage you, try it again.
So it's like so I think that's one thing I really digged about like sports and the energy and the energy within like within culture, you know. So and then when I was looking at it from like a lens of having to like choose a career, it was obviously like I'm not gonna lie, it's like a thing of throwing yourself in the deep end, to be honest, because you're just like following like gut feeling, and you're not necessarily like following
the traditional pathway.
A traditional pathway, or to like a good way to place it is like, or you're not following like an example that has been paved for you, even in the same, even in like the alternative path.
I get
you know. So for me, it's like, and I think that spirit was just came from home, because like the Mamzo, she never worked days. She never worked
like a 9 to 5.
Like a 9 to 5.
I get
you understand? Umadala never worked like a 9 to 5.
I get you.
So for me, like I literally like, I think that spirit and just like seeing them, like worry less. They know that everything will be taken care of. Damn. Like you are not in fear, you know. There's ample opportunity, and you can create opportunity also. So I feel like that energy also, like going into like a career, like looking at like the career and stuff, you know. Even like when you have to like, you know, like in high school when you have to like choose
subjects and shit
to like kind of like position you in like a career where you'd want to take it from like tertiary going onwards. For me, it was like, yo, man, I'm just gonna do like the subjects I think I like, or that are gonna be able to like challenge me enough to further stretch myself within the gut feeling I have, you know. So I didn't necessarily like look at it from like, yo, man, this is a career. I never even knew it was a career, to be honest.
I get you.
But it was a thing of like, yo, man, there's cats who are doing it, and I wanted to participate and be part of, so it wasn't like, oh, okay, cool.
This is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, this is what I'm gonna do, or it was all like, I think it all comes
together.
It all comes together.
Yeah.
It all falls into place.
Yeah.
Damn. As life happens, as it progresses.
I get you.
And as you move, I think that's how I saw a lot of things. And then before you know it, the deeper you go, the more you participate in it, is the more you notice that you actually been doing the same thing, just in different forms. And now it's more like it's probably more refined, or it's probably more there's a stronger focus on a specific aspect of the thing,
I get
But
you.
I think, to be honest, the spirit and the energy has always been there. Like it's always been the thing that has been leading. Yeah, like that has been driving, being the driving force. Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so end of high school, do you end up going to varsity, or what becomes your plan in matric? Like for the next year, for just life?
And you're live on Dead Radio. And you're live on Dead Radio.
So fortunately, the siblings, my siblings were like, yo, man, I think they were easy to spot that, like, you can perform quite good at school, like, you can do whatever, but you seem as if you are not. It was just like a conversation, like a brief one I was having with my sisters, like, yo, you don't look as if you are built to...
School is not for you.
Not necessarily school, no, like, just like whatever like, the decisions you take for like schooling or whatever, it doesn't look as if you want to do like the traditional, and do whatever you want. We did everything like we thought, like, we'll make a lot of bank. We'll did finance or whatever.
I get you.
Whatever. And they're like, yo, man, do whatever you want, and also I'll support you. I'll help you make sense of it. Because also for me, it's like, yo, I didn't even understand that from like grade 12. What do you study to kind of like further sharpen the blade?
The blade, yeah.
So it was a thing of just like playing sports as usual. And then I think it was a dope way to also like for...
Did you ever want to go pro with sports?
So, I think, personally, I don't think I ever wanted... Like, I think maybe as a youngin', but as like you grow, you kind of like get to realize that...
Self-awareness.
Yeah, like I think it was a thing of if I was into it and luck was in place, I think I would have, but I don't think I think I really enjoyed the spirits of like sports, and like, when sometimes you in too deep, there's a lot of things that kind of like throw you off, like at a bigger level, and the more I was like the more you get opportunities or you play, you get like into certain spaces and you're like, oh man, nah, this is actually throwing me off, or the politics or whatever, and I'm like, yo,
I don't want to deal with this.
Yeah, this wasn't the reason, and for me, I knew even if I knew that I didn't want to be pro, those things actually were the like solid block that was like definitely don't want to be pro. It wouldn't have been a bad thing.
I get you.
But for me, like, also, it's like it was one of the things, like, do as much as you can. You know, like, so I think like that sibling relationship was like, because for the parents, they're like, yo, man, you as long as you are holding down scale,
as long as you're sharp.
Yeah, you're doing you're like, we happy.
Yeah.
You know,
then we're good.
You're in line. Okay. You do whatever you're doing. You know, we trust that you'll
be good.
You are thoughtful enough to know what's right and what's wrong. You know, like I think that's what like a lot of like parents like kind of like have at the back of their head. Like they want you to do your thing and they want you to like to do what they want you to excel in, like school and whatever. But they also want you to know, like, as much as there's so much freedom, like there's like a lot of responsibility as to don't get lost or whatever. As soon as like you make sense of that and like you kind of like win their trust,
then you're good.
They were quite chilled, you know.
I feel you.
And also I think even the siblings were like, yo man, this guy, like, you know, he's doing his thing, like.
Damn, so you had like a good head on your shoulders. That's how it sounds. Like, because they trusted you. Yeah,
man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was like really, like I thought, like I think I got a lot of trust from my parents, like, and my siblings, and I think by default of having so much trust, like from them, like I felt like that was like just like an internal pressure I always had on myself.
But I can't fuck up. I can't.
Yeah, like not even in a super like bad way. It was like a thing of like, yo, there's absolutely no reason for these cats to trust me this much, you know. And even like before S.W.A.N.K, bro, like I actually even had other projects and like you know, and they like go over and beyond supporting, helping. You know, some would work out, some that would have obstacles and whatever. But I'm like, there was always trust.
I get you.
Like if I was saying, like I was to say, I want to fly rockets tomorrow.
I get you.
You know, the people are like,
we'll trust you. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, can I buy you socks? Say perfect. It's about flying the rocket. You understand? Can we make you a specific diet? So you understand?
Yeah.
So like with whatever they had at the time, man, they were super supportive. And I think like that day, man, like it kind of like I created like I had like a high. I appreciated like their participation because even like if things like worked or they didn't work or whatever, like I didn't even care about external factors. To be quite honest, because like these people, right? They're like, yo, dog. We like, you know, there's no, and don't forget, this thing is like, it's not traditional, bro.
Yes, it's not. So they don't even know if it's gonna work.
You understand? But they like I lean a plan, say but like, you know, like it was very like the faith they had, man. Like it was really, you know. It was really like strong and
that's
like
beautiful.
So for me, I was like that's why I always want to do things like with I wanted to be like intentional.
I get you.
And then like and make something out of it, you know. So I think that's like the most important thing. Yeah. Even like from like high school, I did go into varsity.
Yeah. What did you study? What did you go and study?
So in varsity, like crazy enough, I did because I didn't know like design. No, I didn't know like you know sometimes me I was so like I was living too much in my head. Like I didn't even know that like yo man, design.
I get you.
You know, like I was like, yo man, is this like actually people go study this like
this
crazy?
Thing, yeah.
And then like obviously when you find out. And there's a lot of like designs. Obviously people like know khonale. So when you're like, yo, studying design, they're like, yo, man, you getting like fashion design.
Fashion design.
And funny enough, I didn't even do fashion design. You know, so I did like multimedia.
Okay.
Multimedia design.
Dope.
And also when I saw that, I was like, yo, man, that actually like, because when I saw the brochure or whatever, it actually had like all these things I was like interested in. Like, they showed you like how to do like animations or.
So it was all these things in one.
Or like it felt like it was all these things.
I get you.
Like
you're interested.
That I was interested in, that I was low-key like geeking into or whatever.
Okay.
Into one, you know?
Okay.
And it felt like it made so much sense. And with S.W.A.N.K also, it's like, it felt like what I was gonna study here was actually gonna be like a super strong pillar to enable
everything.
Yeah, to enable, you know. So for me, yeah, so I did like multimedia
design.
Multimedia design.
Okay.
At FADA, the Faculty of Arts, Design and Architecture in UJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's Banting, yeah.
Yeah.
I did for a couple of years, man, yeah.
Okay. Did you finish?
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, man, actually, I even did like honors there.
Oh,
yeah,
fire.
Yeah, man, just did that. But at the same time, like doing more things on the side. I believe in like doing a lot of things as much as possible.
Yeah, you're never doing just one thing.
Yeah, like I didn't believe in doing one thing at that time. I just wanted to participate and do as much as possible, you know.
Okay.
So funny enough, also like S.W.A.N.K, I started it in high school, bro.
Oh,
so
shit.
For me, it's like, you know, it wasn't a thing like where I started it after graduating.
So in high school, you start the brand S.W.A.N.K, or what was S.W.A.N.K in high school?
So in high school, so just to like give you context, right? It's like, since I said like Dimamzo and Madala, they've never had like
traditional 9 to 5.
Traditional 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
So there's always been a thing, this is how it is, right? It's like, for them, they were like, Madala used to own like a couple of like businesses, you know, and like looking at him like for us like a young kid, because he passed away also before I became a teenager also. It was like a thing of like, okay, cool. Well, this guy's like providing for the whole, you know,
for all of us,
for the whole fam, and Dimamzo as well, and whatever. And I was like, cool. So I think that I had like that spirit also. Is like, I looked up to these cats, and they always had like a plan, like, you know. So going into like high school, I was just super obsessed with like how do I think also like funny enough, not even high school, like I was super obsessed with that even like from primary. Like I remember like grade 6 or grade 7, there were some cats who were looking for you remember those baby Milo joints?
Oh yeah.
I remember those joints, right? But for me,
I still got one from 2006. Right now,
crazy,
to this day.
Crazy, shout out, man. Keep it in the vault. But those joints, for me, I think like, cause I was like from DK, and then like I just went to like, I went to a school called Parktown, Moore Park, around those areas. So like I was using public transport, but also because the exposure to the siblings. So the siblings had like, they kind of like, they're exposed to like that world or whatever.
With their friends.
And so it's like a no-brainer, like when like it's like after school or weekends or whatever. I just have 2 spoon coaches. Yeah. You know? They're going to like get their joints or whatever, you know? So for me, I'm like, okay, cool. That's how I actually learned how like the CBD, like how the CBD is. Yeah. Funny enough, the first way I learned how the CBD is like structurally is because like I slept in a bus from school. Crazy. And then I ended up at Gandhi Square. And then I was like, where am I? And then I was like, Loki thought that like, you know that, because I don't have a phone or whatever. You don't have a phone. Whatever, ne? But because, and then I saw like these other girls who were like homies of yo man, like, how do I? They're like, no, it's just down the road. And then I actually understand that like, oh, Joe's is like a gridlock. It's like a gridlock. Everything is like super straight or like super.
It's all blocks.
It's all blocks. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then like you get to like walk around, And then like grade 6, grade 7, you're like much more smarter. You know, like you just want to explore more. You know. So the cats like on TV at the same time. It's like everyone is like, Ungumuntu is looking up to, I don't know, man, your Soldier Boys or whoever. Whoever was popping at that time. And then like, yo, we need these joints. And I'm like, nah, man, how hopeful I get no. These joints, because I remember Mang got them. And I also remember passing the Kifita. So I know where to get these joints. So also the idea of you like buying either the product was like unauthorized, authentic, or counterfeit, or whatever, or replica, or whatever. You don't have that idea because you're just a young man. Yeah. Like, yo, give me the cash. But you know, you bump it up because you gotta like go to the spot. You gotta make a bit of bread from the thing.
I need my profit.
You know that that spot sells it for like, I don't know, $300. Then you tell the homie, yo, that thing is $450.
I get
you. Know? So maybe like I got the homie, like one of the homies, I got them like their first pairs of Supra. I think Supras, if you know,
I remember
the Supras. The Baby Milo joints with that. What's that shiny embroidery technique they have?
Like the little crystal.
Those joints, right? And then for me, it's like, oh, actually, nah, like, yo, man, I like this energy, I like this space, been about it, and we're making bank. This
is the business.
Let's roll. Like for me, it's like that. And then I think also like when you got into high school, it was just one of those things where like, I think there was like another resurgence of like cats wanting specific things, and they're like, yo, man. The pieces,
and they don't
like,
know where to get them.
They don't know where to get them.
I guess.
You know, like, and I became the. Then there was like there was a conversation I had one time. Like there was a time where it became like, not only school bus, right? So that school bus was like from Soweto. I think the end of Soweto. I think Protea, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know because I might go Diepkloof. Diepkloof is like Hautla, like from a like many spots, like is the first entrance I go Soweto.
So you don't even see.
So me, I don't see the way it starts. Now I'm like one of the last touch points where it picks us up. And then lads. So the bus is like, yo, man, we heard yo, you the guy. I'm like, I'm your guy. What are you saying?
What are you saying?
And then now you're supplying the guys in the bus, and it's like because like one of those metro buses, like really double decker.
I get
where it's like there's a lot of cats from like different.
So it's packed.
So it's from like different schools, kind of like supplying, and then it's like yo, it became like yo at Scan like. I was a guy who had like you had your backpack, right? And then I had like maybe it's you know the gym bags.
Yeah, I know those. Those.
Because now it started like it then became a thing of like actually rather than having to go all the time and
let me buy stock.
Now I kind of like have an idea what people want, whatever. Let me just have stock like stashed, you know,
just ready,
you know. And then there was a cat who was like, yo, when we were doing it, there was a cat like, yo, man, it's scared, man. And it was like it was like yo, it was saying like yo that. You're super aggressive, bro. Like, why don't you actually start your own? You know,
your own brand.
You know. And I was like, yo, man, that's actually because for me, I felt like it was like same energy. But now, it's like shit. You are like for me, like I look at product as products, but as soon as like I had that conversation, like I think my paradigm shifted. Because it's still the same product, but now you're owning the thing. Now you're doing the A to Z for the thing, and you know, they're like, yo, man, like you're super aggressive, like, bro, like, you know. And at the school I was at the time, you know, like a lot of the kids there, they didn't have like that kind of spirit because I don't think they had to.
Okay, they didn't have to go hustle.
They didn't have to go hustle. For me, I think it's like. I did hustle because whatever, and I also didn't like asking for like new
cash.
Even if it was like I'm like next I low-key didn't even like the idea for bankeries or whatever, you know. I was always that cat like yo, you know, because now you're making the cash, you seeing like the Stephen Janowskis. You want to buy them yourself. You seeing
And now you can't go to a lady and be like, hey,
I didn't want to be like, yo,
get you.
like I want to look fly. I want to do my thing.
Because
like
of me.
Because of me.
Yeah.
Dog, I don't want to put pressure on you. Like, you know, do your thing. There's other kids. There's whatever. That was just like me, you know.
I get you.
So it was like that kind of vibe, man. So the more I was doing it, I was like, yo man, start your thing, you know? And then starting the thing was like, I was like, yo, I ain't doing this anymore. Like,
You're not flipping anymore.
I'm not flipping anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And the idea of flipping was like, yo, like, cause at the time there was some sort of like, starting to like, there was a bubble where like it was a bit like lucrative. Whether you're flipping like the real thing or counterfeits or whatever. And I think a lot of cats, like the story of in South Africa is like, because counterfeits are super like, when you're super young, that's what you have like, and the distribution is quite big.
Yeah,
you know?
It's huge.
So it's like, that's what you have access to until then you realize that, oh shit, this is like, you know, because like, you remember like, I don't know if you remember the Wheezy era with his crew, right? Like you'd see the truck fits they'd wear.
Yes.
But the way the truck fits were like easily like accessible and
that's when you're like
I was like no man, like there's a distribution situation.
There's something.
It's major. Like it's big, bro, you know? And I was like you know, like and like truck fits was like, you know, and then you know. And then I was like, I know it guys, I'm no more flipping, but I'm still in the space. You know? I actually have this new thing. And then when you start, then you realize that cats, whatever you start, like cats don't know this.
Yeah, okay.
So like you're starting from like ground zero.
No one knows shit.
Like it felt like ground zero, or it felt like you're starting from like a minus. Because dog, at the space you were at, right? Like no, like you know these hustles, these cats who are selling iPhones or whatever. Yeah. You're already selling something that
people know it.
That people already have an appetite for.
Yeah.
There's someone right now, maybe today on your phone, your WhatsApp, or you can bump into or whatever. If you can convince them good enough, you can convince them to give you their rent. Like let's say now you're patala rent vandaag.
Facts.
They might end up buying the phone or the MacBook Pro for you.
That's true.
But
that's true.
At the point where you were actually like, now you have to start from ground zero. So like,
that's creating a brand new phone.
You're creating a brand new. And for me, I think, like, I didn't get, like, I then realized what it was for the thing it was. Like, and it was just a bit discouraging, obviously, when you start. It's like, you're crazy. Because you get so much love, you know, because you are like the touch point. But then when you start the thing, it's like, no, come on, what are you talking about? Like,
I feel you.
You know,
I feel you.
So it was like that thing.
I feel you.
Damn.
And was the brand called S.W.A.N.K when you started?
Yeah, man, like crazy enough, it was that.
Fuck.
The guy I was having the conversation with, who was like, yo, man,
start your own shit.
Start your own shit. At that time, we were going super crazy. You know, like remember that New York era where there was like both the underachievers, the pro era boys, the FPZ, like the 47 Goons joints, you know? So there was like, I used to like really dig, a homie of mine used to like Capital Steez. I really used to dig Joey. Joey Badass. Joey Badass and the FPZ boys, you know? Flatbush, you know?
Zombies,
You know, so like, I was like, you know, when they were like, and then the homies like, dog. So I also tend to have this thing, like when I'm listening to music also, like I don't mind listening to the same song or the same thing. Like,
I feel you.
You know?
Yeah, I'm the same.
So the homie, that homie, I think, kind of like, that vibe where he could see like, he could see the kind of person you were and like he would tell you about how you were. Like even the things that you don't notice, like
about yourself.
Yeah, even if let's say you like sucking a thumb or you like pinching or whatever, man. He'd tell you about like those things in a way. Yo, man, I think you're this kind of guy. So it's like, yo, man, you like this Hilary Swank song. I like this, like, yo, Swank.
From Summer Nights.
Which
I don't think it was 1999.
I think it's before 19. Yeah, it's before like around those around those timelines, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, man, and it's like, yo, man, like, yo, go ahead with that, because I really think that the way he would tell you about yourself, you'd like low-key feel as if it's like, yo, this bro like does have like surveillance, like
he's watching
it's
me,
like
dog.
which one is this one, you know? Yeah, so it's like, yo, man, like yeah, start your thing. Like, start my thing. Where do I start? What do I call it? Yo, man,
you really
call
like
it Swank, you know? Call it Swank, and it's like, yo, man, I was like, yo, that's dope. Like it really sounded like it sounded fly. And then when I got back home, back to the sketching and whatever.
Once again, the S.
You know, like So for me, it was like that, and literally like how the like logo looks. It probably has like a bit of tweaks right now.
Yeah. But that's the original.
But like with the dots and it was literally like there's no like design. You don't have any design experience. You don't know how to create like a logo, CI. There wasn't Canva.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like
definitely wasn't Canva there.
Right?
Bro.
And then what I do is like I sketch the thing. Then I sketch a couple of, and then I'm like, yo, man, I'm actually liking these variations, you know? Like, you know? And then I'm like, obviously there were a bit of like influences from when I was looking at the Mahoota and like the typography from like different brands or whatever.
Yeah.
But for us, like, I don't know, there was like a certain tweak where, like a specific tweak we did where it was like, yo, man, this looks, and then it was like, yo, man, just start. And then I'm like, how do I start? And then it's like, just start with like beanies, and then we just like bought a couple of beanies because like when you go downtown, there's a main strip where it's like there's a lot of goods that are already branded or counterfeit, right? Yeah. But when you go further like south, as if you're going to End, there's a lot of products. But unbranded. Okay. So that was like the first.
That's where you.
That's where you get you get the sauce, and then they're like, yo, man, there's a spot by Ilof near one. That was our first embroiderer actually. Like as if you're going to one Ilof. Just like 3 or 4 blocks just before. What's that spot? Yeah, one Ilof and that taxi rank situation. And the bridge. That was our first embroider. We gave him the beanies. We gave him, I think, like 10 beanies. And then we just gave him the sketch
of the logo.
Like it was just like we didn't know about like Illustrator, Photoshop, Vector, Pixel.
None of that.
My nigga, like it was literally like, yo, bro, you see how this thing is.
I need this on the beanie, bro.
You understand? You understand. I needed to like, you know, and then you show him the. Damn. I don't think Pinterest is a thing. Then it was like you're showing him like how it looked and feel on the block spots or the tumblers.
I get
you know. And then they're like, "Alright, cool, bet.
Say less.
Come back next week."
Okay.
Alright, when you come back, other joints are looking. I'm like, okay, cool. So the homie, what he does, like, he takes the logo and then he does a border also around. Each like
of the letters.
Each letter.
Yeah.
You know, and each character. Yeah. And then we're like, alright, cool. Let's try it out. So it's like I did like 5 with like the black writing and the white writing and the black border, and then 5 with just like solid white. Okay. Good luck.
And right there, S.W.A.N.K was born.
Because for me, it's like the homie also is like, it looked weird because like this kid is from school.
Yeah.
And this logo doesn't look like it's a like it would make sense if it was like those logos, those crests. Those school crests.
Those little crests.
Maybe they are doing something for school or whatever. But what's this? Like it's and then I'm just bringing the thing, and then now it's like, and then what's the swag? You know, when time goes on, it's like, oh, this is my own thing, bro. Like, you see the same energy I had like when I was pushing the other joints.
Yes,
like,
yes,
man,
yes.
like
The big
doing
stuff
it.
and
Yeah, and then like when it started, that's how it like started. Like we're like selling those joints. Just got a couple of caps also.
Okay.
Like blank caps.
Okay.
And
then put embroidery on them.
Put embroidery on them.
Damn.
And then like I think a smart way because I already had like created like this kind of like I don't know, like I wouldn't say network, but like in the school buses and whatever, they knew that this guy was the guy who used to sell. So the people who would always like support and who'd always like show love and be like, yo man, I bought this shoe for myself and for a homie. Or like, you know, the ones I'd relate to at that level, like, you know, from other scalers, I'd like, yo bro, would you want to be part of our crew? So for me, I look at them as like a street team.
I get you.
I didn't even know what street team was, you know. But what we do is that maybe let's say if we made 10 beanies, but like maybe 10 beanies we'd be able to like push on ourselves. But maybe let's say we'd make 30 to 40 beanies. If you're able to Ukena like in the east, right? Like I'd give him let's say 15 beanies.
Okay.
And then if one like is in the south or whatever, like, you know.
Damn.
Like 50 or 10 or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And then like, yo man, they'll fly. That's like literally how we, like from the backpack, you know. So there's like this like short film we just like recently dropped. Where there's like a mini version of who I was. Like the first scene where the kid is actually like on his bike taking out product from. So that reference is literally from the.
That makes sense now.
From the backpacking, like yo, you should literally sell from the. And that's why, like, even you see the duffel.
Yes.
The duffel was because.
It's inspired by that.
Because you know, like we used to sell from the.
I get
as kids, yeah. Just check it out.
From the gym bag, like.
From the gym bag, you know.
You.
Yeah, from the gym bag, it would be like. So we created like, that's like just like a couple of. It's kind of like a storyline in a way, you know. But like as a short film, that's yeah. So
that's so fly, bro.
It's that, bro, you know. And then, yeah, man, I think.
And then what? It just started.
And then it just started, and then like I think we created like this fly beanie, and then we got our first store. So our first store was Deep Street. Deep Street store.
Okay.
By Tusa.
In Bram.
Okay. So it used to be by. Not on Tuta, the first Deep Street.
I remember it when you're like almost leaving Brown.
Diepkloof, yeah, when it was by opposite the VW.
Yes, opposite the VW.
Just the floor below the grayscale.
Yes,
where they sell like the graffiti cans and the.
Where Rusty's store.
Rusty,
yes.
They were just below.
Okay.
You know? So we saw there, and then like, cause we had like samples and stuff. Like, so we didn't know how the conversation goes.
Yeah, we'll go.
We go there. School uniform with my homies, and then it's like, and then I think who did I meet there? Was it Lich, or who was it? It's either Lich, but I think Fez was there.
Okay.
Fez Shelf Life.
Yeah. Just randomly he was there.
Yeah, because I think Fez also was like a homie who always used to be around, and because I think he worked upstairs.
Yeah.
If not grayscale, like
one of those
at the rusty joints, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, man. So it was like yo, gents. And I think Tusa was there as well. And I used to always see, I think it's homegirl, I think her name is Boskasi.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And then I'm like, yo, man, this is what we have. No, was Tusa? Nah, Tusa was not there actually when we dropped them off. So when we dropped the things off, like, yo, man, who's the manager? So it wasn't the first time we went to the store, you know?
Okay.
It used to be a thing of like, yo, S.W.A.N.K. So I had that thing of like, since I was almost flipping or whatever, I started knowing other spots and new spots, but I'd like show homies like, yo, actually let me show you where to get the New Balance or whatever. Like, it goes, you know? Like I was trying to focus on my thing, you know? And then I was like, actually, like, when I went into there, like, I I was like, yo, man, this is crazy. Like, this store is fly. They have all these sneakers. They have all this like all this gear, streetwear and stuff, you know.
Facts.
And I'm like, yo, this is like, but like I saw, I was like, yo, there isn't any like local
stuff,
brand, you know.
I get you.
But also the execution from the other brands was like super crazy, bro. Like, the small details and whatever. So even before we even went there, we wanted to kind of like, at that capacity, at that time, like further improve the beanie we had. So when we felt as if it was like a bit improved, we had went there. And then we're like, yo, man, can you please drop these off? Can we come next week and share what's the story, right? So those beanies, crazy, like, we had like tie-dyed the beanies with that. So like they looked fresh.
I get you.
They were more like, they actually had like a bigger like structure.
I get you.
They were more like solid. They actually looked like super fly, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you know.
Do you still have any of those right now?
I
I'm
don't.
sure nothing.
I don't like. I'm so hacked. Like, and I recently like just like discovered that archiving is so like.
Bro, it's everything.
Like, it's
right?
super important, bro. Like, it's actually like, you know. But I think I know a homie who does. I might have to
reach out. We need that beanie, bro.
Yeah, I think there's a homie called Gabs. You know, shout out to Gabs, man. I saw him really last, like rocking the thing. I'm like, you still got that joint, you know. So when I reached out, it was like, yo, bro, can we please have like the stock, like you guys like buy our stock? They're like, when we came back, they're like, yeah, man, I like this joint, like, and he saw like school kids, and he was like, yo,
you guys are hustling. I love it.
I like these joints, you know, like, how many can you bring? And then he's like, yo, like I might need maybe 70 or I don't know. So then we're like, yo, 70, okay, cool, you know what? Let's go make some, you know. Made a couple, we sent them through to the store, and then he was like, yo, man. He was just like, you know, like just vibing, just making. But at the same time, also, I think there was just a resurgence for like brands locally. Exciting ones. That had like a strong buzz, you know.
I get you.
So, I think, man, we got the beanies in there, and then I think also around the same time when we got on, I think they got other local brands, you know, like I think others from Cape Town, others from Josie, etc. But it was dope, man. It was like, yo, man, that actually like was a very, because at the time we felt as if the product was not, wouldn't compete with whatever was on the shelf, you know. But the homie was like, yo, man, actually, don't worry, we'll take these on consignment, and then we'll give you like, you can come in like check in like every month or whatever to check how it's pushing. You know?
I get you.
And then like I think we just followed up after like a month or two, like, yo, man, these things are quite dope. They're pushing.
So people are going into the store and buying the beanie.
So that's what I believe, you know. Because I think people also the client base he had at the time was like, yo, this is new. What are they about, you know? And then I think after like a couple of months, it was like, yo, man, do you guys have a collection? And then actually we have been trying to like work on like a collection and right.
I get you.
But what we've been doing is that we've just been like sampling, just like buying, let's say, material downtown, trying to get like specific like textures or branding or you know, and then like selling the joints. But yeah, I think like we just had like a collection for like tees, like different kind of tees. At the beginning, and then the tees we just got them delivered also to the homie. You know, so the homie, man, like they received the tees. They're like, yo, man, okay, cool. And
I'll check later.
Yeah, man, I think it was like close to the festive season. So dropped off the tees. It was dope, man. Like, and I think around those times we just did like also one of the first like pop-ups, like I wouldn't call it a pop-up right now, but it was like a pop-up or activation at the time. We had done it with the boys, party time.
Oh, okay.
And Bokondo.
Okay.
So then this event's called I think Onyx.
Okay.
Right. So like in the first Onyx, we did the first Onyx. There's other cats also there. You know? So it was quite exciting. It was a moment that was very super energy packed. And then I think from then onwards we just like continued. We got like more guys like stocking our stuff.
Okay.
We got the RHTC guys like
yes.
and then became like super close with the homies also, like, you know.
Okay.
Stocking the stuff and
So now your brand is moving, there's motion.
Yeah.
Right? When was the point when you were like, okay, damn, actually, we got real motion? Like, is it after that, like, now RTC stocking it, Dip Street is stocking it? Is that when you're like, okay, actually, maybe this thing is working?
Yeah, so, so the Swan store, I think it was a thing where we were doing like a couple of pop-ups.
Yeah.
And we're starting to like pump and make a couple of products, you know?
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, you know, some products are moving faster than others and whatever. So for us, we're like, yo, if we were to have a store, how would the performance of like everything in general, overall, how would it be, you know? Because there's some products that are like, I think there's some products that were hits or we managed to kind of like get an idea from like they managed to get like a lot of traction from online, you know, just by default of like, let's say the story or the nostalgia or whatever, you know. And but like there were some products that were dope. We believe that people actually need to see,
physically touch,
you know. So just did a couple of like pop-ups, and man, like also I think another thing is that led us to like opening up a store is like starting to produce like in different parts also of the world, you know, like products, because also there's quite like high MOQs there. MOQs being like minimum order quantities, you know. So to kind of like burn those quantities within like a realistic duration of time, you actually like need a base or an outlet. That's what we thought or we believed would make sense, you know. So that we are able, so that it can allow more cash flow and it can allow us to still create and make more products, you know, like
and
just
have a base
just to like, you know, I think that was one of the reasons that like led to the store, you know, because man, like we did have like we had started like producing outside the country, like making samples, making like a collection and whatever, but we noticed also is like we noticed that this was like a mini research type thing I was doing at the time, like how people like in the country, how they and like in the country being also like more zoned in and specifically for the audience we are trying to communicate and talk to buy into what we were creating was like what are the things that kind of like throw them off or that enable them or like drive them to buy products that are not from like a physical store. So from online, you know, like what kind of convenience would they want from like an online store? What issues or obstacles do they face? So a lot of like those findings were like things around, yo man, people actually like it sounds kind of like ironic, but it's like people like there's like some and this is our findings, and like based on like how like the performance has been, is like people buy like if there's more social proof, or there's like a proof of concept. It's like if something is like physically like, you know,
it's there.
People buy in. So if let's say you were to do like a drop, like you're a new brand, you do a drop, and then there's t-shirts, caps, whatever, right? And then after the drop, in like 3 or 4 days, there's a lot of people like posting and tagging the brand on stories, Instagram, posts, reels, whatever, right? The more you share those stories onto your, like you reshare the user-generated content, like for people who you still want to like lock in, it's like that's like social proof that, okay, cool, these guys actually, even from whatever platform they're selling from, right? They're actually like, I can buy from them, and it's like legit, and it's like one of those things where you're trying to like funnel people through, and but you then notice that actually a strong one is always the store, because one thing we notice is like, I don't know if it's like this applies to you, bro, but a lot of people don't like paying for shipping.
Yeah, they really don't.
You know?
Oh no, they hate that shit,
you know?
Bro.
And when you look at it, it's like, yo,
it makes sense.
If you chill in like, I don't know, you chill in Midrand, right?
Yeah.
The store is in, I don't know, let's say Rosebank or CBD or whatever, right? The amount you would spend from Midrand going to the store, going back, and then you look at maybe whatever the shipping cost is, right? But I don't think that's the journey. That's the, you know, that's what like crosses the consumer's mind.
I get you.
You know, it's like mfana, a dog, like anything.
Yeah.
So that's why even you see like all the big e-com platforms, like they're always trying to draw people in by saying, free shipping if you spend $100.
Yes.
Right? Because it's a funnel. So like the whole idea of like online for us, what we figured out is like, and we're still trying to figure it out the more because it's still growing. Yeah. It's still like it's a space that's ever evolving, right? Yeah. It's like people want to like the customer must feel as if they're at a benefit.
They
must feel like, you understand?
I'm gaining.
I'm like, you know, like that discount code at checkout or that sale or that. The customer must feel as if I'm the one who's winning in this thing.
Because there is a psychology to like selling things.
Yeah.
Right? That impacts people.
You know, especially for online, bro, you know? Yeah. And also it's like a thing of if the customer doesn't want to pay, let's say, I don't know, that $100 or whatever for shipping, right? Create a place where they can come collect it themselves. Which is the
store.
which is the store, you know, it's like, so it's that, and also like I think we get to tell more of our story. We get to be exposed a bit more to people who don't like probably been see, because it's like a store also is like a, you know, like when you, I don't know, man. Like I'd use that Barbie example that happened like a year ago. Like Barbie Mbona, like on Instagram, you're seeing her at the mall, you are seeing her at an airport, at a brochure, whatever. So all those touch points, when you look at them, and then if let's say you have a daughter, and like you like at the same time we're seeing all those touch points, chances are high that you went to watch the Barbie movie, or you went to buy the Barbie doll. You know, so it's like for us, like yo. If if you can be seen in the socials, if you can, understand? Like if you can be seen in the socials, if XYZ, it's being worn, if you see it like at other stores, or you understand? Like a normal people and normal like cats are just like, you understand? And there's a store that looks this way, it's like, and that's all happening within, let's say, a week. Like intensively, the chances are high that this guy, even if let's say like they're not a customer or the chances are high that this guy is like, yo, this is something to reckon with. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I get exactly
so I think for us it's like even it's kind of like definitely the primary is like to sell in the store. But for us, even like the way it looks, the way we always switch it up, it's like we want it to be like a space where it's like, oh,
what's gonna happen next?
What are these guys on? You understand? So it was like, I think that's where, and for me, like that, and like funny enough, I still don't think like I do fashion or do fashion. It's like, I think a lot of the things we do is try to like understand what people want. And like create like an experience of it, you know, like around like the idea or whatever, through the canvas maybe of like clothing, accessories, or I think that's what, because also like streetwear, bro. I don't know if you know it, but like it's an open secret. Like I don't think streetwear designers know how to design. Like
they're not traditional fashion designers.
They're not traditional fashion designers. It's like. True. And it's like, for you, it's like, what we then tend to do is that, like, I think we try to overcomplicate it. Like a t-shirt is a t-shirt, bro. Like a t-shirt has been a t-shirt since
a cap is a cap.
A cap is a cap. So it's, you know, it's always gonna be a canvas. It's just how the story or everything is translated through it, you know. And just so happens that streetwear is like a really exciting and energetic space, or like a youthful energy. Because it's super energetic and it's like, you know,
it's an art movement.
100%. So it's like that's why it's kind of like,
I get that.
It's like what
is streetwear?
What's the, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
So it's like, and it's like a community of like specific people like who are all gravitating towards what like one communication, one energy, you know. For me. And that's how I look at it, like all the time, you know. I think because also people like have to look cool or like being stylish or whatever. It just so happens that that's the output.
I get
you know. But like streetwear, that's why also like when you look at streetwear, it's like if let's say streetwear was to have a Bible, was to have like a thesaurus or whatever. I don't know. I don't know if thesaurus is the right word to use, but if it was to have like templates, one of the basics of streetwear is like, you saw like a hero product being done by like a big brand. We're actually gonna take that brand and like gonna make a spin.
I get you. It's remixing things that already
exist. It's like, you understand? So that's why it's like when there's always like spins and whatever. It's like if you look at streetwear and you look at the pattern. And everywhere, like over, that's literally that.
I get you.
You know, so I think that's what, like, for me, I think like also having a store enables you and allows you to be someone who can spin the ideas and the experiential and how the customer consumes the products beyond just
wearing the t-shirt
and just like receiving it from just like your doorstep.
I get you.
Like, here's a delivery, sign off.
Damn.
So
So with S.W.A.N.K, right, there are a lot of iconic pieces, but for me, just even as a fan of the brand, right, my favorite piece, I feel like a lot of other people also feel like this, is the South African football jersey. How did that idea like hit you? Like, cause that feels like something so intuitive that as soon as like it came out, everyone was like, oh shit, duh, why didn't anyone else do this? You get me?
I think that's like going back to the, like right now, let's say the Streetwear Bible. It's an imaginary Bible, right? It's like we go take out one page from the Bible that's like, okay, cool. What are we spinning off?
And then let's
spin off you understand? And then create new energy, new
around it.
You know? So for me, I think that was one of the things, you know? And that definitely showed us, if this can, because that held us down for a minute, like on the online platform, you know? Because already like it's not like I don't have to oversell the thing.
Like you know what it is.
You understand?
It's like if
I like, because I remember like wearing the tee when I was in Indonesia, you know, and it's like, and like that kind of like perspective gives you like an idea of why South Africans like go like ham when they see you wearing this, like from a Like it was like an intergenerational thing. Like
It is.
how when you're cycling in the city,
It
ubona matala timfana, let's keep a less on the show. What's like? It's two like young homies, like yo. You know, I think with that thing, that's where we managed to puzzle up a couple of pieces to see that okay, cool. These things, this is how like people are, and they don't want you to recreate anything new. They just want you to tell them. Like people always want the fries. You know, they want the fries from the.
Yes.
You know,
give me fries, bro.
Like give me fries, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Don't complicate it.
I need the fries. I need the French fries.
I feel you, bro.
So it's like it was one of those.
That moment.
And for us, it was like, yo, man, we're paying homage. Like we're paying homage.
That became a generational kit for like all of us. You get me?
Yeah.
Like through you guys reinventing that.
Yeah.
You get me? Because obviously we'll see pictures of Dr. Kumalo back in the day wearing that, but now it's like through 2020 eyes. You get me?
100%. So for me, it's like also was the idea of like connecting the old generation with the new one. So when we did like the rollouts for the jersey, it was like okay, cool. Go outside FNP Stadium, shoot the lookbook.
Okay.
That was the first touch point. Second touch point was like okay, cool. Let's try get this jersey onto Pro Evolution Soccer.
Okay.
As a kit.
Yes.
As an alternative kit. Third, let's try and make it significant in pop culture and within football culture. I think that's where you got Maps and his dad.
Okay.
You know, like to be like your father, son.
Yes.
You know?
Two different generations.
Two different generations, you know. We got AK. Yeah, we're lucky to get AKA also on the
R.I.P.
you know. Yeah, on the video with the joints.
Yeah.
We then, I think for me, like a really special moment for that jersey was when we created the adverts with Popeye and Spinach.
Yes.
You know, because it's like still players on the, you know, and then we got King Culture to be like a kid who reignites the victory days and the memories when he passes down and
when he
like,
leaves the crib and then he
and
passes
like,
them and they're talking. Okay.
That's literally like that's my hood, like that's my street, bro. That was one of the cribs, like Harry, yo.
That's
you understand?
fire,
so
bro.
for us, it was like,
That's
this is
fire.
like, and we always trying to like find like that energy and spirit in a lot of products we do. We also want to create things that are like new, like exciting, energetic, and you know. But for me, I think that jersey, and one thing I liked is like, I remember there was like when we dropped it, like there was a bit of like, you know, like that thing, like when homies and whatever calling like, yo, have you seen XYZ? Like, why do y'all, you know? And then like certain cats get like, let's say their lookbook gets on like a certain publication.
Yes.
And for me, I was like, yo, we had this thing, like it wasn't just like a job.
Yes.
You know, we had that rollout for like 8 months. And then the last like piece was like getting the adverts, you know.
I get you.
And then we wanted to make a sequel with the away jersey. But it's dope because one thing I noticed is that the story is still the same. And I think it was a dope thing because we got a lot of people also and other brands besides us too.
Also started doing that. I literally saw that.
To tap into the story.
Yeah,
and for me, I was like really, like, you know, like how street talk is like, I did it first, whatever. But for me, I was like, actually, that's the point. Like, the more the merrier.
Yeah,
like,
let's all tap into
run with
that.
the interpretation. You know, so for me, I was like, I think that is the vibe, you know. Hopefully, if you can still get more like, more stories to tell with that, they'll definitely, or hopefully there'll be like redrops.
I feel like that was even the same as when you guys did that collab with Taps. Like the
Taps, the Taps and Shamaine.
You get me? Like,
so for me,
that was another moment where I was like, okay, these guys actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, like, and also, Doc, we're trying to figure it out, but it was like, it's always like a thing of like not. You know, sometimes like also like going outside of the country and coming back, it gives you a bit of like perspective because it's like dog, us we are looking too far, bro. You know,
right here.
and I feel like there's a lot of things, even us, we still suffer from, like, we can't see, ne? But we make sure that, whatever we see, like, let's try make it happen. And for me, I think that's the energy, like, of, like, the like streetwear and like where it should, and like our version or our interpretation of streetwear, you know, because I feel like it's so dope, and I like the energy where I like streetwear where, like, you know, like when there's like a spotlight, but whatever that's like not in the spotlight, you know, like especially when you go to other parts, it's like, yo man, that's what's exciting, that's not the...
There's so much for us to sample right here.
Like, there's a lot of sampling that can be done. There's a lot of new creations that can be done, you know? It's literally like the same as music. It's like, you know, like how you look at cats and be like, yo, how do you do baby time? Like, how does like a Quest or AKA always like every season out? Or how does a KO, how do they like relate to people?
How do they hit?
Like for us, I think also like as Streetwear cats, I think we have to look at it as like a dog, okay. But I think also like that thing like comes the more you practice.
Yeah, it does.
The more you practice,
you become more aware of it.
More aware,
yeah.
So yeah.
Damn. Okay. I think there's so many other directions we can go with this, but I think we should end it here. One thing that I want from you, right, is what's your last word to the people out there? People who are trying to figure it out, people who are creative like you, people who played sports, people who are just trying to like figure it out. What's your word to the people out there?
Yo, yeah, I think it's not like an easy one, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's not like, I don't think anything is easy.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's like,
it's not.
I think you need to choose, like there's always gonna be obstacles for like everything, you know, like for like good shit, bad shit, whatever. But I think with like a lot of the things creative people do, right, is that they must just be patient and like just like I'm not saying it like this is like as a cliche like way of like being patient and just being patient with the process, right? So just being patient with the process, and because you're always gonna be doing the same thing.
True.
When you think about it, right, it's like we can have a file collection, right, or Dead can have a file collection or whatever, but come 6 months time, the people are still waiting there. They're like, yo,
when are you dropping next?
When's the next one?
Yeah, when's the next one?
You understand?
True.
You understand? So it's you're always, technically when you look at it, you're always gonna be doing the same thing, right? But the patience then comes in with, okay, cool. Season 1, we are on season 4, right? How long did that take? And then you just look at the improvements, and also you have to like aspire to be like, yo, we need to, you know, we want to create like a, I don't know if like, let's say this can go into, let's say like a media platform, complex or whatever, I don't know, wherever it can go, but it's like participating and always making, but like creating it like patient, like Oskaba, don't be under pressure, like we're in a time, we're in a time where it's like, you know, now figured it out, boss, or
take your time,
like do it, like let's move, but take your time. They're like, there's no, like, you're the one who can do it the way you want. Oscar, don't be pressed. You understand? Like, be intentional, but don't be pressed. Be patient. You understand? Because, dog, like, a lot of the times, like, you know, and being patient is like part of like you following your, like, if dog, me, I want to be the Kerimo. Like Kerimo, how you used to punish.
Shout out to Kerimo.
I want to be like the Pentex of South Africa. I want to
or Bronx, or Buccaneers.
You understand?
I get you.
So don't be pressed. You understand, bro? And try to like figure out, okay, cool. Because the more it grows, is the more the problems. You know. Because even us, it's like even now, we are like, yo, dog, the game actually. The more we realizing is that the game now, you can be cool and have all those things, nah? But shit, the game now is like, you need, let's say, crazy distribution.
Distribution point.
For example,
major distribution.
But like distribution that makes sense or whatever. So imagine like now you've created like a maybe it's like a hero product or like strong whatever collection or whatever, né? But you haven't understood distribution, and then you feel pressed because maybe it's like not moving as fast as you understand. Like be patient enough to allow yourself to be like, okay, cool, and like you're always a student of the game, you know, you know, like it's a like you're always gonna like it's a fucking spy today. It was a whole. I understand. It's like it's a give and take, trial versus error. You know, so that's for me. Like I think like that lesson is always like it's one lesson that always appears every season.
Every season.
Yo, dog. Like you understand?
Chill.
Like you understand?
Do your thing,
but don't be pressed. And look at because like your story, dog, is like dog. Your story can only be yours. And you can look at it from
True.
You understand?
True.
What if you understand? Like, like I understand. So why? But I understand why. Like,
guys are pressed.
We are pressed, and a lot of the times, man, the guys who figured it out, even like in places that are like well developed overseas, that have more infrastructure, more support, etc., etc. Like it's really like it's hardly the youngins, bro. Like when you look at like they've had their time, they had to like serve, or they had to pay their dues, or they had to build the skills, sharpen the blade, and you know. So I think like just appreciating the process and like living in it, like having a really good relationship with the idea of patience. Like it's like you're not being punished. You know, like I don't know if I'm making sense. So it's like it feels like man, like the Instagram is just the Instagram. You know?
It's not real life, bro.
It is real life, you know, it's like you know, but like it's not like this thing is a tree, bro. Like like even you wouldn't trust the tree you planted last week. And now it's that big. Nah. You understand? It's like
I feel that.
I feel that.
Okay.
It sounds a bit like, you know.
But I hear that, bro.
Shout out.
Thank you
What
so much. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dead Radio. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll be back with another episode.
And you're live on Dead Radio.